57, Ernest Tucker. Ernest Tucker? Ernest Tucker? Okay. Okay, sir, you got 3 minutes. Go ahead, sir.
A lot of people tonight have regarded Mayor Ford as on the other side. I'm glad he's here at this moment because, in many ways, I find myself in the same situations as Mayor Ford. Although as a private school teacher, my income in no way approaches his, we are in the same tax bracket. Like him, I own my own house, go to my own cottage, drive my own car. I'm doing fine, as he is. Neither of us needs any help. It is, however, people at the other end of the scale about whom I am concerned. When Mayor Ford or I want a book, we can buy it. When we want a quiet place to read or use a computer, we have choices within our own houses. But cutting the number of libraries or hours of libraries being open takes that opportunity away from others, especially children and teenagers. Maybe if there were, in fact, more libraries than Tim Hortons in this city, there'd be fewer dropouts, less obesity, and some awareness of Margaret Atwood. When Mayor Ford or I want to walk by a pristine lake, we go to our cottages. Removing park workers from our city will leave others, those without cottages, to face garbage-strewn beaches in their pursuit of the same pleasure. When our kids were small, Mayor Ford or I could hire babysitters or have their teeth treated with fluoride to prevent cavities. Taking away daycare or fluoridation from others denies them this equality. Weather, however, is a great equalizer. When it snows, Mayor Ford, I, and every other Torontonian needs the streets plowed. These cuts are made. Will we have to call out the Army several times every winter? The $60 fee attached to my car registration was annoying, particularly since I own 3 cars. It was at least as annoying as someone nagging about using a cell phone while driving. But both Mayor Ford and I could afford it. The loss of the services it helped fund concerns me, especially in terms of people who didn't need to pay it because they couldn't afford the cars on which it was levied. Mayor Ford was elected to end the gravy train. I just want assurance that when the gravy train is cut, the meat in the table doesn't disappear with it. Park maintenance, police services, fluoridation, arts programs, public health nurses, snow clearing, adequate housing, daycare, libraries, these are not gravy. They are the basics of a great city. They are the meat on the table. Can you give me assurances? Can you reiterate Mayor Ford's pre-election guarantee that these services, this meat, will not disappear? In his introductory remarks, Mayor Ford indicated that the history of Toronto Council has been to pass the buck to the next year. In this, he spoke truth. More than 100 million of those bucks were passed to him to his administration by the outgoing administration. If indeed we must reduce spending, as Mayor Ford indicates, it seems to be because he has reduced income.
Thank you, sir. Sir. I have a question from Councillor Layton.
Thank you very much, and thanks for staying. I just wanted to get some clarity as an educator. KPMG has made some claims around the impacts of reducing things like literacy programs, like instructional and informational programs at libraries, reducing the footprint of libraries, i.e. closing some branches. They've also suggested that perhaps we should reduce services at libraries. What do you think the impact would be on children coming up through the education system if we took away some of their access to literacy programs in libraries?
At the private school at which I teach, it would have very little impact at all, since those students are extraordinarily wealthy. The tuition's $28,000 a year. At the schools which I taught at for 30 years previous to that, it would have devastating impact. It would cripple many of the students, many of the finest students I taught that went on to brilliance at university.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.